What kind of tree do you think this is?
Some kind of oak?
This guy right here. I don't know. How tall do you think that is?
That's probably at least 60 foot tall.
60 foot? Yeah. It's all dead, but
Pretty tall. Looks like it might be a widowmaker.
way up there, and then it tangles into some other branches. Pretty far up there.
Probably call a professional for this one.
Yeah? Who's that?
1-800 cut a tree.
Go over here.
Give it a shot.
Gosh. What chainsaw are you using today?
Stihl MS461. One of the best chainsaws ever made.
Mm-hmm. We'll see about that.
Got the 25-inch Timberjack light and tough bar. Gives it a little bit better balance. You always know which direction the tree is going to fall before you cut it.
Well, how do you tell? How do you know?
Evaluate the lean on the tree.
You go up to it and you just kick it. You have a little kick.
Most of the time they'll have a little bit of lean one way or another. Sometimes they're pretty straight and you can have more control over which direction it'll fall with the notch. This one's leaning pretty good that way. It's going to want to go that way no matter what.
So it's a smaller tree than what we cut down the other day, like this guy right here. It's probably like half the size.
Yeah, it'll be a horizontal bottom cut, and then come in with an angle on the top cut.
Gotcha. So
Yep.
I'm thinking when you cut this, you make your bottom horizontal cut.
Yep. Point in the direction you want the tree to fall, which way you think it's going to fall.
You're definitely gonna have to be on edge when you make that initial cut, but
Yep. This is not really an ideal situation. It's more safe to have it
yeah, you definitely want to clear
a
your
little
area.
more cleared
but-
out. But if we
You're
really
alright.
wanted to be safe, we'd just call a professional. So
Yeah, he's got his thorn bushes and stuff inside there, so good luck with that one.
you should never use a chainsaw wearing shorts.
Oh yeah, where's your protection? You don't got your pants on, no steel toe boots. You got your
Got the
mask, your helmet,
Got the helmet.
hearing protection. Where's your gloves at? No gloves.
Forgot him.
Alright. Screw
Call
it.
a professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you cut this, are you gonna push it over at all, or you just kind of have a feel for it and see if it actually moves on its own while you're cutting it?
It's going to be kind of tricky. Going to kind of have to see how it goes. And under ideal situations, that tip is going to snap off when it hits the other tree and it's going to fall. But if it doesn't, then yeah, we might have to take a different route. Won't know till we get there.
Okay.
Hopefully it goes smooth and that tip snaps off and it falls like we want it to, but nothing is guaranteed when you're cutting a tree.
All right.
It's always dangerous. Even this one that's not very big.
And you kind of want to let it fall in an ideal place to cut it up afterwards as well. But
It definitely helps, yeah.
I mean, there's some situations where you can't help where it falls. You just got to work with it.
Yeah, this tree here, it's got a pretty strong lean to it. Could be. It's pretty much decided where it wants to go.
Okay, so we decided you think it might hang up once it starts falling. So you're definitely gonna have to be on your toes when this thing starts moving.
Yeah, if it falls, it's probably, if it gets hung up, it might even go that way. It slides along that branch. Definitely want to go head uphill for safety.
All right, buddy.
Turn this off.
You ready?
See if this thing will start. Push decompression release, chokes all the way down is on. You're really not supposed to drop start a chainsaw, but here we go.
Almost
It
had
kicked
it.
over, half, dropping on the half choke.
God, these mosquitoes out here are horrendous.
Decompression valve. Ready to go.
What happened, man?
We got the notch cut in it.
Okay.
Ready to go down.
All right.
I was just going to mention that a handy thing about most chainsaws, at least the Stihl brand anyways, have a black line.
Here, let me get up on that, see what you're talking about.
Have a black line here running around the saw.
Okay.
So when you make your notch, you line this up with what direction you want the tree to fall.
The shadow.
And
A
you're,
little bit.
yeah, if you line the line up, the black line with the direction you want your tree to fall, when you cut your notch
So you're.
to get your direction. And this line right here is a straight line to go
okay.
by, which way it's falls. So I want to go that way. That's that's where I want it pointing when I'm cutting my notch. That line.
Okay.
Just want to point that out, and then, yeah, we'll go ahead.
Yeah, I
and
never knew that. That's-
finish her off, I guess. At least give it a
All
try.
right.
Hopefully it goes as planned. Here we go.
Saw it moving a little bit. Yeah, you're right. That top branch. Yeah, that top branch is catching it.
Yeah, we ended up with a Widowmaker here. It's come most of the way through. I think what I'm going to try first is to maybe spin it off with the can hook, and maybe we can get it to break loose.
Okay. Yeah, explain to people what that is.
I don't think I can't. If I cut the rest of the way through there and the top remains hung, it's just going to pinch my saw in there, and my saw is going to get stuck.
And that's what's gonna get you in trouble.
Yeah, that's how you get your saw messed up. Have a bad day. You don't want to get your saw stuck. This here is what we call a cant hook.
Cant hook?
Yep, it uses leverage to spin and roll large logs with a lot less effort. And this one here has an attachment on it to hold logs up off the ground. Some of them don't have that. We're just going to use it to try to turn this today, get some leverage on it, see if we can't break it free from that stump.
So you're gonna hook onto that tree sideways with that hook and
Yep.
try to twist it to help it fall.
That's the first thing I think I'm going to try.
Plan A.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
Well, I mean, Plan A didn't work. 'Cause that tree's still
Still
standing.
up there. It's a Widowmaker.
So this is the more sketchy stuff that comes into play when Plan A doesn't work.
Yep.
All right.
Let's see what happens here. See if we can't wiggle it free.
Yeah, that thing is hung up way up top. Ooh, it snapped.
It moved.
Heard that.
Alright. I don't know. The other danger you have with these widowmakers is it could hit the branch and spring backwards.
Really?
It's always a possibility. See what happens here. Here we go.
Not bad.
Went
Not
pretty
bad.
good. Nobody got injured.
Let's go check that out. Whoo!
It definitely shows that just because the tree's not the biggest, it can still be problematic and potentially dangerous. That was a tricky one.
Yeah, dude, that was like 60 feet. Probably not 60 feet, but still.
Yep. Oh yeah.
You got enough gas in it.
Yes, sir. Another use for this can hook here is we can kind of use it to lift the log up out of the ground. Make it a little bit easier to cut on without running the saw into the dirt.
So that brings it off the ground so you won't damage your chain when you're cutting, right?
Yep,
Gotcha.
makes it a lot easier on the saw. We're gonna buck her up into smaller pieces to burn as firewood. Every time before you use your saw, you should check to make sure the chain tension is still proper. Just because it was good earlier doesn't necessarily mean it's good now. You should want to have a little bit of slack in it, but not a lot. This here is fine. It's a little bit on the tight side, but it's really close to perfect. That'll work. We don't need to do anything to this. If it's loose, make sure you tighten it. Just don't forget to check it. Fire it up. It's starting to get a little on the loose side now. I probably ought to do something about that before I continue. That there is what I'd consider just about too loose. Yeah, you increase the chance of the chain coming off the bar and causing an injury that way. It needs to have some slack. It can't be too tight or it can damage the crankshaft of the motor itself.
Gotcha.
It's always important to have a little bit of slack, but it's a window. Let me get a wrench here. Now here's the basic steps to tensioning a chain. The first step.
Let me get up there.
is to loosen the bar lug nuts here. Some saws have one. This one has two. Most of your saws are gonna have two. They don't need to come off all the way. Just be loose enough so there's some play in the bar so it can slide. It'll tighten up really quick. A quarter turn goes a long way with the bar tension.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna
that
go
slacked up real good.
probably about a 1/8 of a turn. I'll check it and tighten it and check it again because it will change a little bit from when you tighten it to when these are fully tightened. The position of the bar can move a slight amount. And that was only about 1/8 of a turn or so. It doesn't take much. That's why it's important to always check it because it doesn't take long and to get loose, and it doesn't take long to become a problem from there. And always make sure these are pretty tight, but they don't have to be super tight. And that's ready to go.
Cool.
If you're starting a saw up that's already been running, you don't have to choke it. Just put it into the eye or the run position. It usually should start up. It's a decompression valve if you have one.
the easy part.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad. Yeah, it was getting it down. That was the trouble with this one.
That was.
Well, what about mission? Like we go to cut a log, it's real close to the ground, kind of enter with that top quadrant there,
Yeah.
and then you can get into the log before you get all the way down, and then finish the rest of your cut going up. And that's a good method if you're cutting close to the ground and don't want to risk contact, but it's a very dangerous cut, and I wouldn't attempt it if it's your first time using a chainsaw. Because this quadrant right here is the kickback zone on a chainsaw. That's the spot that's most likely to cause kickback when it encounters an object.
Gotcha.
So it's always good to use caution when cutting like that. It's kind of like a semi-bore cut. That's what I'd call it when you're entering with the tip of the blade. It could be a useful technique, but just always be cautious when cutting like this, because it is more of a risk than cutting like this or cutting with the top of the blade.
So you think that went well?
Yeah, I'd say that went pretty good. It's always good when you don't have property damage or personal injury.
Yeah, we had this, open space to do it, and I'm kind of glad that hung up so you could show your other technique.
Yeah, and those trees, don't ever underestimate a hung tree. Those are the most likely to
Yeah, it's
cause an
unpredictable.
injury. Yeah, you always proceed with caution. Better safe than sorry.
What was it?
Oh my gosh, I don't know what I was talking about. No, man, dude, I used to have this little dinghy, 14-foot long dinghy. Maybe it was 15-foot flat bottom boat, about this deep. The sides were like 15-inch deep or something. We drove that out to the lighthouse once in Lake Erie.
You told me about that.
I wish I would have got that video, dude. We got out there and we were about to try to fish for a little bit. And there's like commercial fishing boats fished by that lighthouse. Did you know that?
Yeah, you're probably calling you guys idiots. Like,
yeah, they're making this big
Jesus
noise. It's like, like they had these fucking beacons or whatever to make noise.
who the
The commercial
charters?
fishermen. It was like a big commercial boat. It wasn't even a charter.
Oh.
It was like they were harvesting a perch or something to like sell at the grocery stores.
Are you serious?
And they were right by the lighthouse. So yeah, we were like, oh, we'll anchor out here. They're out here. We'll fish.
Yeah.
Man, we anchored for like 5 minutes. There's like 6-foot waves, man. You go down inside the wave and you just see water all around you. Can't even. And you come back up. You like, see again. Go.
That's how you end up on the news.
Oh man, yeah. I tried to lean over. Yeah, the edge of the boat, man. It started filling up with water.
No.
That would have been a good
Don't.
video.
Oh,
Just get shit like that. Man, we were trying to get back and just flying, just going full speed, smoking all the waves and shit.
Was it getting dark out by the time you guys were getting home?
No, man, because I think that boat was kind of quick. We just hauled ass and got our ass kicked, like by the boat fucking rocking us.
Yeah, one thing about Lake Erie, weather can just turn unpredictable.
Oh man, yeah, it was supposed to be like 1 to 2 foot waves was the forecast, and we got out there. It was sketchy. We thought we were gonna fucking die.
Ugh.
I ain't kidding.